Hi there. Those of you that know me or have worked with me for the last 10 plus years would know that I've suffered from migraines on a consistent basis, sometimes 2, 3 a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes I've gone for time when I haven't had one for a month, even a couple of months. And I've never been able to figure out what it is that's caused them. There are, of course, the normal things like stress and tension, and when I was a kid, I thought it might have been dehydration or eye strain, and it may have been a factor of all these things. Air quality, allergies, among other things that are a possibility. But basically it came to a head recently where I was just missing just entire days with these debilitating migraines, where I'd wake up with it, struggle to open my eyes or even move without being sick, without throwing up, pain throbbing from the base of my skull, top of my neck, all the way through to my eyes, and it would spread through my shoulders and down my back and become so debilitating that I would be stuck in bed, no light, couldn't eat, couldn't drink. The only release was temporary, whether it be through painkillers or whether it be through massage or something like that. And so going into now being 31 and having 2 children with a third on the way, I didn't want to miss days anymore. I didn't want to miss so much time, and it's no fun when you have children that ask you what's wrong, or if you look tired they ask you if you're going to miss meals and miss doing things with them, or miss a whole day, or no, they'll find you, if they find you in bed in the day, that you're out for the count. People I've worked with, whether it be with sports, whether it be with acting, whether it be with whatever I've done, would remember that there were some days where I was just non-existent. I couldn't do anything, I couldn't function. And I think the worst thing about something like that is when you have something and you've no idea why. You know what it is, you know when it's coming, and you have no idea how to prevent it, slow it down, stop it, or deal with it in any way. You can't even set up a plan to combat it. And I tried everything. We tried natural things, we tried diet changes, and they're all things that helped. Things like diet changes, to cut down inflammation within the system, has worked to treat and has helped me become healthier and take on a healthier lifestyle in general. But it hasn't cured or dealt with the migraines at whatever depth that they're based in. So I went to a chiropractor last week, and they offered a full evaluation of the neck, my back, x-rayed my upper half to see why there was root cause in my neck, my back. And over the last few weeks, especially with the lockdown and not getting out as much and not having as much to focus on, it started spreading. Like I would have days upon day where fatigue was spreading through my back, and it was shaky, it was aching, it was sore, it was excruciating pain. It was going right down my middle and lower back and into my legs, my feet, and I was struggling to stay anywhere active even if I wanted to. And so I went to the chiropractor. They did the full evaluation, and it became very clear with a simple X-ray evaluation what would be the cause of these headaches of the last 2 decades. When you have all the vertebrae, you're meant to have a natural curve to your vertebrae to allow it to act like a shock absorber, to allow it to take the weight of everything that's going on. But this can become warped, twisted, or messed up through trauma of some sort, whether it be a sporting injury, whether it be a car crash, whether it be falling wrong and just cricking your neck. Anything can happen like that. And at some point, whether it be from falling as a child or playing sports, or even when I had a phase of 2 or 3 years of consistent headbanging when I was a teenager, when I was playing in a band, at some point there's been some little fracture or there's been some real trauma upon the neck, and it has affected it's created a degeneration within the vertebrae that protects the spinal cord, and it has put increased pressure upon the top of my neck and the base of my spine. So the natural curve, the curve that you want on your neck, if it's on this side, you want it to curve like that. It should be that kind of shape. So starting from the vertebrae level with the ear here, it should curve inwards and then back out. So it's back out at the end of like a backwards C, level with your shoulder. So the vertebrae level with the ear should be level with the shoulder and curve that way. And mine's curved the other way. Mine's straightened and actually curved by 9% the other way. So my head and my neck are now forward like this far too much, and it has caused excruciatingly painful pressure upon the base of my skull, because it's been taking so much pressure, too much, unnatural pressure, and add to that stress and tension, and then it can't deal with it. So even though you might fight it off for however long, it's going to come back. And I also have a twist and it does this in the middle of my spine, in the middle of my back, halfway down, and whether that is a result of the upper neck and the trauma that went through, or whether it was another injury separately, or I don't know, but either way there's plenty of misalignment within the back and within the vertebrae, which is causing all of these issues and all this pain. And I think that the important thing to recognize is that if you've never suffered migraines and serious pain that debilitates your entire body, it's very difficult to imagine. People get headaches, or people get hit or hurt somewhere, and they just say, well, you just have to fight through it. And you say, well, it's true, and trust me, I tried, and there are some days when I've been able to, but when it's debilitating, it takes over every system of your body. So you have head pain that is just excruciating, where you have lights flashing in your eyes, or your eyes go fuzzy, you can't see, you go dizzy, your head feels like it weighs 100 pounds, which it would when the base of the skull is taking all the pressure and the weight of your head. And you can't eat or drink because you get so nauseous because of light, because of a smell, because of a sound, because of the pain or the lack of eating, the lack of drinking that you've had. So if you force something down to try and give your body some energy or some fluids, the body rejects it and the body goes into complete shutdown. Now this has been 20 years of my life. Definitely for the last 14 years, since leaving home. It has been a major issue, but even as a kid, I can remember, getting these as well, and them knocking me out for a period of time. And when you go for that long with an issue, and you realise that you let people down, where you can't go into work, you have to communicate to people and say, I've got a migraine. You have to pray that they understand. There's been understanding, plenty of it, plenty of sympathy, plenty of empathy. There's been people that, in the past that have said, well, you're going to have to quit. We can't have you missing, all this time and the hours and a whole day because you've got a headache and all this. And this is not a call for sympathy at all. This is simply just a personal experience that has had a major effect on my life. When you have something like this where you can't plan for it, it's not on a schedule, it constantly gets in your head that it may happen. And so there's a stress and a tension that holds in your body because of that. And that stress and tension makes it worse when it comes. So there's a whole lot of layers to this. And going to the chiropractor having them do a full evaluation, being blunt, honest, and like, these are the issues, here's a plan. So we're going to have you in a few times a week, we're going to make adjustments, we're going to find a plan that works for you, and ultimately we're going to set you up with something that you can continue doing for forever at home without the need of going, you know, spending the money and going in and constantly having someone else do it for you. I am assured that migraines can disappear forever because of this. The chiropractor himself said the same thing. He had them, he set himself up on a plan and had adjustments, and he's never had one since. And it's quite a life-changing thing to know that something may never happen again, that it's altered and shaped your life in a big way, but something that will also allow you to not fear and not worry about missing entire days, 2 days, 3 days, because you can't do anything. And so that's been my last 15, 20 years, but it's been my last 2 weeks. I had 5 in the last 2 weeks, and 2 of them were in between the evaluation and the adjustment, and now I've been 3 days, I've had 2 adjustments, and I'm sore. It's been messed around a lot, you know, it's being rebelled against. But knowing that you have a plan and knowing that someone is got your best interest in heart and believes full well that they can deal with the problem is a weight off my mind. And it has given me the desire and that freedom to push ahead and get back into what's most important to me, you know, family, time, you know, my job, and my development of my job as well, to become better and not have to worry about things holding you back. Health is so important, and if you have poor health, it will hold you back, regardless of how well you deal with it. There are some people that I know that have horrible conditions and they deal so well with it. But it's on the outside or in certain environments. Deep down you don't like, no one likes having something that debilitates them or holds them back. So I'm massively grateful. And obviously it remains to be seen. I mean, I fully believe in the plan, and I fully believe that, you know, this can be, last week would have been the last time I ever had one. And I'm fully on board with that. I think you have to believe that. But with everything that's been going on the last 6-7 weeks, with people having their lifestyles changed, use it as an opportunity. Use it as an opportunity to spend time with your family, to do things that you wouldn't otherwise do with your schedule. I've taken up some gardening. I've been doing things that I never would have been able to fit in. And don't waste the opportunity you have to make strong lifestyle choices that will improve your life and everyone in life around you. So I'm back and I'm ready, and I feel empowered to jump back on that bicycle of life, you know, and just and pedal like crazy ahead and see where we go and see how far we can get. So thank you, and here's believing that that's the last migraine I ever had, as of 2 days ago. Thursday, it's the last one.